The moment this scandal hit the streets, social media went into cardiac arrest. And no, we're not talking about just another cheating rumor or messy breakup. This was betrayal, so deep, so layered, so utterly outrageous. It made every reality TV moment before it looked like a quiet church service on a rainy Sunday. This wasn't love and hip-hop, this was love and hit list. Picture this. Young Jock, Atlanta's most unintentionally entertaining barber-turned-family man, was out here trying to reform his image. He had his barbershop. He had his motivational quotes. He even had that tired fedora that only he could pull off. Jock was trying, really trying. He had married Kendra Robinson, a respectable, suited-up attorney who carried herself like the judge of everybody else's foolishness. Together, they were supposed to be the couple that made it out of the love and hip-hop rubble intact. But baby, trust what's edited out the final cut, because behind closed doors, the truth was uglier than a VH1 reunion with no makeup artists. The whole thing cracked wide open when Jock received an anonymous message that didn't come with words. Jock, a folder, that's it. A folder full of screenshots, bookings, messages, and enough digital dirt to bury a small empire. Jock wasn't even looking for drama. Man was mid-fade, clippers humming, probably talking about positive energy and loyalty. Then boom, betrayal hit his phone like an emotional wrecking ball. The folder told a story. One of hotel reservations made under Scrappy's name, of late-night texts between Scrappy and Kendra that read like forbidden fan fiction, Cash App payments, labeled for the vibes. The vibes. Oh, the vibes were treacherous. And the kicker. Scrappy wasn't just some random fling. No, he was Jock's homie. His co-star, a man who had stood by him, cried over his own failed marriage, and broke bread at Jock and Kendra's wedding. This wasn't just a love triangle, it was a betrayal pyramid with loyalty crushed at the bottom. Jock didn't even try to hide the rage. Within hours, he went live on Instagram. Shirt on, smile gone. That live wasn't a vent session, it was a declaration of war. His eyes said he wasn't here to cry. He was here to expose. He said he had receipts. And oh boy, did he prove it. The internet exploded. Comments flooded in like a tsunami of disbelief and digital popcorn. Jock wasn't just hurt. He was loaded, locked in, ready to blow the lid off everything, and he didn't stop at vague shade. No sir. Jock went for the jugular. He said, "You ever wonder why your wife always knows what your boy's going through? Because she ain't supporting, she's securing her own dirt." Boom. Grenade dropped. Instagram turned into a crime scene. Viewers were gasping, typing, screen recording like it was an FBI operation. The mess only got worse when Kendra didn't deny a thing. She didn't log on. She didn't speak, not a word. Her silence spoke volumes, and in the world of celebrity, silence is as good as confession. The public started connecting dots like it was a conspiracy board. Meanwhile, Scrappy was ghosting everybody, no posts, no stories, not even a reaction, emoji. And if you know Scrappy, you know that man never misses a chance to post a shirtless selfie or a Bible verse. The quiet, deafening. Enter Bambi, the ex-wife, the one who had survived Scrappy's emotional tornado of lies, tears, and second chances. Bambi didn't come to talk. She came to conquer with shade so sharp it could slice glass. A quick Instagram story, no names, just a line. Funny how some people cheat and still play victim. But karma has a GPS. That was it. That's all it took. The streets erupted, because the shade was precise, surgical. Everyone knew who she was talking about. And that made it even nastier. With Kendra, Mia, and Scrappy ducking the internet like it owed him child support, Jock kept the momentum. The next live, oh, it came with props. He pulled out a folder like he was presenting a case in court. Dates, times, screenshots, locations. The man came prepared like a tax auditor. And then he said the words that shook everyone. "Let's talk about that Miami legal conference. The one where you said you were in meetings all weekend. Funny, I've got pictures of you and Scrappy at the aquarium. Matching hoodies, matching damn hoodies, matching outfits." That wasn't just disrespectful. That was coordinated betrayal. That's we're in this together energy. That's I hope no one recognizes us. But if they do, we still look cute insanity. And it got worse. Jock began reading DMIs like scripture. "You always calm me down. Things could be different. I'm not scared. Just stuck. Stuck, baby. Stuck is for peanut butter." This was shameless. And then, finally, Scrappy spoke. He couldn't hide forever. He went live, shirtless, sweating, pacing like a man who just found out his PlayStation and girlfriend left him at the same time. "Y'all believe anything," he said. "Me and Kendra cool. ain't nobody sneaking. Cool, sneaking. Boy, this ain't a school dance. You're caught. If Scrappy thought that weak defense was going to calm the storm, he was wrong. Jock came right back with more. This time, a call log. 10 missed calls from Scrappy. And a text. Bro, call me. We need to talk. What's there to talk about after you slide into another man's marriage like it's a club appearance? And if you thought Bambi was done, think again. She re-entered the chat, this time with a full face beat, sipping brown liquor like it was holy water. She said, ain't nobody lying. You did it. Own it. And just to drive the dagger in deeper, she added, I'm just glad I dodged that bullet. Good luck to whoever is still trying to save him. Kendra, somewhere behind a PR rep, probably panicking in PowerPoint. Kendra's camp finally responded. A cold, generic statement. I will not be responding to rumors. My personal life is private. Baby, that's not privacy, that's panic. Because you didn't just cheat, you flipped the whole marriage upside down on live TV. You handed the receipts over yourself. And Twitter. Twitter became a war zone. TikTok detectives started piecing together timelines. Reddit turned into a courtroom. Even a waitress came forward, saying, saw Kendra and Scrappy arguing at my job. Thought they were a couple. Ma'am, please. This is no longer scandal. This is scandal with a script. Then came Charleston White. You knew he'd jump in. On his own live, he said, Kendra looking like Judge Judy's evil twin. Scrappy need therapy and a leash. And Jock. Man, that boy too petty for peace. And he wasn't wrong. Jock's next move. Genius. He turned heartbreak into headlines. On his radio show, he aired out every dirty detail. Scrappy, remember when you cried about Bambi? Told me you had nobody. Then you hit up my wife. He didn't stop there. You said we were brothers. So what's Kendra? Your sister-in-law. The internet had to shut down and reboot. Fans were eating it up. Hashtags started trending. Hashtag Kendra caught. Hashtag Scrappy exposed. Hashtag Jock said what he said. The story had evolved from gossip into a full-blown saga. But here's the real question: who sent the receipts? Jock didn't go looking. They were handed to him. Some fans pointed at Bambi. She had access. She had history. And baby, she had timing. Real surgical strike energy. The final nail in the coffin. Scrappy's second live. This time, even more defensive. He said, Jock just bitter. Bitter, sir, you infiltrated his marriage like a Trojan horse made of trap music. You don't get to call him bitter when you're the reason he's single. Jock responded like a man possessed by revenge and radio ratings. Funny how I'm bitter. But you're the one texting my wife, wish I met you first. And that's when everyone realized this wasn't just cheating. Scrappy wanted Jock's life. His woman, his image. His peace. The radio segment ended with Jock dropping alleged voice notes, Scrappy's voice trembling. I didn't mean for it to go this far. She said y'all were done. Jock's clapback. We had wedding cake in the freezer. My guy. Ain't no done. And as Scrappy faded from the internet like a deleted track, Kendra suddenly pivoted. Her IG turned into a self-help retreat. Captions like growth isn't always pretty. Sis, you didn't grow, you glided into Scrappy's arms like a discount therapist with a crush. Fans weren't buying it. This ain't healing. This is hiding. One comment read, you went from courtroom queen to scandal machine. Just say you fumbled and go. Savage. Jock, meanwhile, was glowing up in real time. Gym selfies. Laughs at the shop. Motivational. Posts like sometimes loss is just a push toward elevation. He was spinning heartbreak into hustle. And just when we thought he'd put the mic down, he picked it back up and dropped a diss track. Yes. A diss track. A diss track. So just when the internet thought it had heard it all, just when timelines started to settle and jaws slowly returned to their original positions, young Jock turned his heartbreak into heat literally. The man dropped a diss track. And this wasn't no weak freestyle mumbled over a borrowed beat. This was war in audio form. The track, titled Petty Files. It opened with a sound bit of distorted voicemail, Scrappy's voice echoing, I ain't mean to hurt nobody. I thought y'all were through. And then the beat dropped. Heavy, dirty South drums, a snare that slapped like betrayal, and Jock's voice came in like thunder in the night. You fumbled a king for a pawn with no throne. Now you out here looking like a queen all alone. Bars, baby, this wasn't rap. This was retaliation with rhythm. You wanted Scrappy snacks. Now your loyalty gone. Shoulda stayed solid. Now, you cryin' in that home. Each line hit like a gavel on a courtroom bench. Fans lost it. TikTok lit up. DJs were spinning the track in clubs. Even love and hip-hop producers started sweating, because Jock was airing out more than they ever could. And the final verse. Surgical. I don't need revenge, the truth did the job. That line alone had people quoting it like scripture. Memes flew. Mashups hit reels. One viral clip had a montage of Kendra and Scrappy photos with the diss track underneath. It was brutal, poetic, a masterclass in digital revenge. But while Jock basked in his petty era, something strange started happening. Kendra, she vanished. Posts deleted. Comments disabled. Appearances cancelled. It was like she went into witness protection but forgot to change her profile picture. Rumors began swirling. Some claimed she fired her PR rep. Others said she had broken down in private, embarrassed by how far things had spiraled. But then she tried to fight back. A surprise YouTube interview dropped. Kendra, sitting across from a soft-spoken host, face full of fake peace, voice trembling just enough to pull at sympathy strings. Her message, I'm not perfect. Jock and I had issues. I didn't cheat to hurt him. I was hurting too. Cue the sad piano music and dim lighting. She even tried to spin the Scrappy situation as a friend who was there when I felt unheard. Unheard sis. Friends don't book hotel rooms. Friends don't send texts saying you're my piece. That's not therapy. That's treachery dressed in a hoodie. And fans. They weren't buying it for a second. The comments came quick and vicious. You weren't healing, you were hiding. You didn't get lost. You got found out, sis. You picked Scrappy over a husband. The math ain't mathin'. Meanwhile, Scrappy, ghost, no lives, no posts, no features. His music career, already on life support, now lay flatlined. It was like watching someone unplug their own mic, mid-performance, but that silence, it only made Jock louder. He started making the rounds, radio interviews, podcast features, one-on-ones with gossip bloggers, and in every single one, he kept it raw. I didn't lie, he said. I let the receipts talk, and talk they did. One clip went viral where Jock, in his barbershop, held up his phone and said, you know what's funny? These DMs I never opened. Look, Scrappy been plotting. She don't deserve you. Nah, Brewer, you don't deserve to be near her. That line alone made Twitter erupt. And just when you thought it couldn't go any deeper, Bambius, the MVP of shady timing, posted a TikTok with no words. Just a song. She's a runner. She's a track star. Caption. When the truth finally laps them. Fans went feral. The comments section called her Queen Petty. One follower said, Bambi didn't even speak and still dragged Kendra through the timeline. Another posted, Karma wears running shoes and Bambi's the coach. But behind the viral storm, real consequences were brewing. Jock wasn't done just dragging them online. His team confirmed he had filed for legal separation. And not just that, he cited marital misconduct and included digital evidence. That meant if the court sided with him, Kendra could walk away with absolutely nothing. No alimony. No division. Just her bad decisions and a public dragging. And that's when Kendra's entire online vibe changed again. The healing quotes, gone. Suddenly it was back to promo photos, vague captions like back to work and building from the ground up. Except, baby, you don't get to lay bricks after tearing down your own foundation. The streets weren't forgiving. One viral meme showed her holding divorce papers with a caption, built different, but broke alike. Still, she tried one last Hail Mary. A podcast appearance. Softer setting. Host asking, do you still love Jock? Her answer, I'll always care for him. But we grew apart. Ma'am, y'all didn't grow apart. You ducked under the table with his homie while he was trying to build an empire. This isn't a drift. This is derailment. Meanwhile, Scrappy resurfaced. And not how you'd expect. A random club appearance. No new music. No apology. Just him standing on stage, shirt half open, trying to hype a crowd that wasn't listening. Cameras caught him mouthing along to someone else's track. The comments were savage. Not Scrappy, trying to party his pain away. He fumbled a friend, and a storyline. Jock, meanwhile, was glowing, literally. Posting workout selfies, group photos at the shop, family moments with his kids, motivational captions like sometimes loss is just the setup for legacy. He wasn't just rebuilding, he was rebranding. One post had him cutting a little boy's hair and captioned it, Teach them loyalty by showing them what betrayal costs. Phew, but it wasn't just about revenge anymore. Jock had turned the scandal into a second chance. He launched a podcast, Petty Files, the series. First guest, a therapist talking about betrayal trauma. Second guest, Bambi. Oh yes, and she didn't hold back. Women protect men so much, we forget to protect ourselves, she said. I kept quiet for years, but silence protects no one but the guilty. The episode trended for 3 days straight. Fans called it the most real thing to ever come out of the franchise. Bambi didn't throw shade, she threw wisdom. She spoke about motherhood, betrayal, and finally choosing herself. It was powerful. Even critics were forced to say, this was no longer a messy moment. It was a movement. But back on Kendra's side, everything was falling apart. Sponsors pulled back. Brand deals paused. A rumor dropped that her law firm was quietly reassigning her cases. One blog claimed she had been asked to take a leave for personal clarity. Whether true or not, the optics were bad. Very bad, scrappy, still spiraling. One club video showed him stumbling, mic in hand, slurring, lyrics. The DJ cut the music. Awkward silence. Someone screamed, play Jock's track. It was humiliating. You could see the realization hit him. He wasn't just losing his reputation. He had already lost it. Meanwhile, Jock's Petty Files podcast hit 1 million downloads. Sponsors came knocking. Viewers started referring to him as the Petty Prophet. One tweet said, Jock did what Offset was too scared to do, expose the mess and monetize the trauma. And honestly, not wrong. But the real final act came in the form of a surprise press release. Jock's legal team confirmed. The court had accepted his evidence of misconduct. And while full divorce proceedings were ongoing, early reports said the judge leaned heavily in Jock's favor. Allegedly, Kendra walked away with none of the marital assets. None. The internet exploded. One final meme showed Jock holding a barber's cape like a superhero. Caption, he lined up the betrayal and gave it a fade. And now here we are, at the end of one of the wildest, rawest, most unfiltered exposes to ever hit the love and hip-hop universe. What started as whispers turned into roars. What looked like loyalty cracked open and revealed secrets so foul even Mona Scott would have said, cut the cameras. Jock went from being the butt of jokes to the one who had the last laugh. Kendra, once hailed as the respectable queen, walked away with regrets and nothing else. Scrappy, well, he walked straight into the Hall of Shame, with no hit singles, no brotherhood, and no woman left standing beside him. And Bambi, oh baby, she sat pretty. Said the least. Won the most. But now the question is who's next? Because if this is what one man's camera roll could unleash, imagine what's buried in every other reality star's phone. Who else got secrets waiting to explode? Who else out here talking about loyalty while sliding through DMs and hotel backdoors? The circus ain't over. This was just the teaser trailer, so tell me, do you think Jock went too far? Or did he just play by the rules of a game they all created? Should he have kept it private? Or did the public deserve the truth? And what would you have done in his shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because baby, I'm reading every single one. And trust, if this is the level of drama you're getting here, then you already know what to do. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and turn those notifications all the way up, because the next bombshell, it's already loading. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.